Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of Madden Rebuilds here on Madden 25. Today, we have another comment suggested rebuild. It is, let me get the name right. I don't want to screw up the name this time, so I'm going to look up your name. It is The Planty. I hope I'm saying that right on YouTube. Had commented that I should do a 2020 Minnesota Vikings rebuild. And so that is what we are going to be doing today. Thank you so much for the comment. And if you want to leave comments of your own on any of my videos, but this one as well, obviously, about what other types of rebuilds you want to see in the future, leave them down below in the comments section. I will take them on in the future. You might even get yourself a little bit of a shout out. So thank you again to the Planty. Again, I hope I'm saying that name right. And we are doing a Minnesota Vikings rebuild. This team is a very strange one. They're in a weird era around this time because this is around pandemic time. It's the Justin Jefferson draft class. So obviously we're going to be starting off very well with a great wide receiver rookie. But the rest of the team's kind of in a weird spot because they're not bad by any means, but they're not like overly good. They've got Kirk Cousins still on the roster with his expensive contract. They don't have a great offensive line. Their defense is kind of whatever. They've still got prime Dalvin Cook before he just falls off a cliff with injuries. Adam Thielen's still here. So like they're in a weird spot. I don't know what to really call them. They're kind of just middle of the road. I mean, they're a playoff potential team, but then again, they have the chance to like be really, really bad. Like it's a weird spot to be in. Usually when I do the rebuilds, they're not this type of team. But that makes it for an interesting challenge to try to fix this team. How quick is it going to be? Is it going to be like a season or two, or is it going to be multiple seasons where we have to struggle to win a bunch of games? I don't know. I guess the only way to know is to find out. So if you go to enjoy it, that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go see if we can rebuild the 2020 Minnesota Vikings. This is the roster that I was mentioning in the intro. As you can see, the offensive line, kind of strange. There's Garrett Bradbury, Ezra Cleveland, who we know turns into like a solid offensive lineman. Brian O'Neill, fine offensive lineman, good player. Bradbury's a fine player. We pretty much need to change this entire offensive line if we want to win. If we want to win a championship. Kyle Rudolph is towards the end of his career here in Minnesota. Thielen is aging. Kirk Cousins is still the quarterback. We've got a rookie, Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook is still solid, but this guy right here is going to determine whether or not we get this rebuild done in a couple of seasons or a bunch of seasons, because he's 32 years old. He's very expensive, if I'm not mistaken, right? If I go to his contract, yeah, he's making so much money that is just not necessary. Like this 78 overall, over 60 million for Kirk Cousins is just not something that I want to have to deal with. We do have Danielle Hunter. We have DJ Wanham, who's got hidden dev. So does Kenny Willekes, which feels a little weird. Is his name JJ Gladney? Jeff Gladney. Okay, Jeff Gladney has dev trait. So there's some young guys on this team that maybe could develop if they're in the right system. We've also got Josh Metellus. We've got Harrison Smith. A lot of older guys as well, like Michael Pierce. Anthony Barr is starting to age a little bit. Eric Kendricks. It's a weird team. Like I said, it's in a weird spot. So I don't know the exact direction that I want to go. I did load in the 2021 NFL draft class. It's Trevor Lawrence and the boys like that. I don't know what direction I want to go in because we need a few different positions. Like we don't obviously need like a number one wide receiver since we have Justin Jefferson, but getting a top guy like Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle would be pretty awesome. We could certainly use a guy like Penei Sewell, and we might need a quarterback. Do we go for Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, or Trey Lance? Or Justin Fields, who's down here as well, or Mac Jones, who's down here as well? But then again, you've got like Micah Parsons on the team or on the in the draft class. I mean, this has got a lot of good players. The 2021 draft is a little bit underrated, I feel like. It's got a lot of hidden gem type of guys. Not Micah Parsons, obviously, but there's a lot of guys in that class that are pretty solid. I also might go in a direction I don't usually go in, which is trading for my quarterback right out of the gates. I don't ever do this. I usually either just ride with the quarterback that we already have on the roster or draft one in an eventual draft. Rarely, if ever, do I go for a quarterback in a trade. Tom Brady would be fun. Um, who's the guy? Who's the guy? Joe Burrow is 23 years old, superstar dev, but he's going to be highly, highly valued by the Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to take probably at least two first round picks to get him. Tua would be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use a quarterback, that's for sure. Rodgers is not worth it. Who's backing up Rodgers? Oh, it's Jordan Love, that's right. But he's a 64. I don't think he's going to develop like he did in real life. Cam Newton and Jared. Oh, don't take me back to this era of Patriots football. Lamar Jackson is 23, but he's going to be way too. If Joe Burrow is going to be impossible, then Lamar is going to be impossible. Roethlisberger still the quarterback in 2020? That feels weird. I guess it's true, but it feels like he's been retired forever. Tannehill and then back to Trubisky. Wait, did I say 24 years old? 24 years old for Deshaun Kaiser? There's no way he was 24 in 2020. Did he not get drafted in like 2016 or 2017? Was that not his draft? He had to have been super young. Whatever. Who's the guy? Is it Joe Burrow? Is he the Minnesota quarterback? Obviously, that's not going to go through straight up. I knew that going into the offering the trade. We only have a first and a second this year because we're working with current day Minnesota draft picks. A next year first rounder doesn't even take it that far out of the red. What about a current this year first rounder? Doesn't even take it out of the red. Joe Burrow is off the table. If I put Joe Burrow in there, is there any suggested offers? No, there's not even a suggested trade that I could get for Joe Burrow from this team. And that includes Justin Jefferson on the roster, which is kind of crazy. So the Bengals are not giving up Joe Burrow, which is understandable. Baker's an 87 overall. Still on his rookie contract, too. Wow. Okay. Kyler's a 90. Justin Herbert's not somebody I thought about. Maybe he's a little bit more viable. Do they value him similar to how Burrow gets valued? I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And he's going to be a little bit too tough to get. I don't know if there's a person that's not like super old. Like Dak, he's not old, but this is before he got his max extension. So he's not impossible to trade for. Is Dak Prescott the guy that I want to build my team around? That feels really weird. He's only 27, though. The normal dev does hurt, but I mean, Kirk has normal dev too, so it's not like we're losing a dev trait. But right now, I mean, Dak feels like the only guy that's viable with what I'm willing to trade. Is Dak the guy? We'd have to pay him. That is already one for one pretty close. Dak Prescott might be the guy that I trade for. Is Dak Prescott the core? Oh my God. Dak Prescott, I think I've made my decision. Dak Prescott is most likely going to be the quarterback of this rebuild, which just feels weird. Because you wouldn't think that Dak is going to be the quarterback of a Super Bowl winning team. He's got the skills to do it. It's just if he can progress and develop that dev trait. I mean, it feels really weird what we just did, but I'm gonna roll with it. At least gonna give him a couple of years to see if he can get this done. That's gonna be the only trade that we make because I don't think we have any other assets that are gonna be willing to get moved. So we're gonna move to the end of the first season, see how Dak does in the Minnesota offense, and mainly this is gonna be used to see how good the Minnesota offense of playbook simulates because I don't really know. And especially with Dak on the team, we'll see how it does. This is going to be a weird first season. We're going to ride with Dak and see how it goes. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number one. Season one has been wrapped, and we went 6-11 with Dak as our starting quarterback. Nothing else changed. I don't think that's an indictment on the Dak as the viable option for us. I think that it's just there's nobody else on this team except for Justin Jefferson and maybe Adam Thielen. Dalvin Cook's kind of. The offensive line's not great. The defense isn't great. So maybe once we start getting the team together, maybe then Dak will take the next step. And hopefully he will. 3,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 19 picks. That could also be a product of the Minnesota playbook. I'm not 100% sure how this simulates. We'll see as the team starts to get a little bit better. We'll see if it starts keeping us down and we have to switch. I don't know. But these numbers are not great for Dak in the first season. 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook. Pretty solid. No 1,000-yard receiver. Olabisi Johnson? I've heard this guy before. I just didn't expect him to lead the team in yards. He must be the slot receiver. That's the only way he could have been ahead of these two guys. Jefferson 816 and 5 touchdowns. Thielen 825 and 5. Olabisi Johnson. Olabisi? I don't know. Almost had 1,000. That why? I don't know. He's got to be the slot receiver. Eric Kendricks with 113 tackles, no surprise there. Any team that Eric Kendricks is on, he usually leads the team in tackles. Anthony Barr with 76, Smith 75, Gladney 72. I hope Gladney had a good season because he is a depth trait rookie. Eric Wilson with 14 tackles for loss, Jalen Holmes 13, Hunter with 11, Pierce at 10. Sack leader was Hunter with 9.5. Holmes had 6, Wilson had 5, and so did Michael Pierce. Interception leader was Harrison Smith with 3. Harris had 2, so did Gladney. So Gladney 72 tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 picks. That's not a great rookie year, but it's fine. It's good. It's whatever. It's a whatever rookie year. And it was kind of just a whatever season. We only made the one move, which was Dak Prescott adding as the starting quarterback. We're going to go into free agency, go into the draft, see if we can improve this team like we normally do. Super Bowl is the Bills and the Seahawks? Okay. Okay. It was in real life it was what was it? It was Chiefs and Bucks, I think, right? That was the Brady year and he got it with Tampa. I'm pretty sure. But the Bills and the Seahawks playing in the Super Bowl here in the first year of the rebuild. Season recap has Josh Allen and Buffalo getting their first ever Super Bowl. Congratulations to them. Mahomes wins both Offensive Player of the Year and League MVP. Aaron Donald gets Defensive Player of the Year. Jerry Jeudy gets Rookie of the Year. And Chris Barnes, the other Rookie of the Year. Jerry Jeudy, who's the quarterback of the Broncos at this point? I don't even know, but Jerry Jeudy dominating gets it done. We moved to the offseason. I think we have like, what, 6 or 7 guys that are up for a new contract? 7 guys with about $99 million. Eric Wilson wants over $110 million. Are you kidding me? He wants to be paid like a pass rusher. Dak needs a new contract. We knew that. But he wants 192. So now we're going to have to make that decision. Are we going to commit to Dak Prescott or not? Are we going to commit to Dak with over 100 million? I think we've got to. It's not going to be the contract that he's getting paid in real life, but he wants to play for a new team next year. So the franchise tag, 1 year, 34 million, is going to have to be paid to Dak Prescott because I want him around another year. Eric Wilson, I simply will not pay you edge rusher money. So what we do with you is we trade you. I will not pay you an edge rusher money. Jermaine Pratt is interesting. Zach Moss we don't need. Jacob Phillips is a right outside linebacker, 22 years old, star dev. I mean, that seems like the right replacement right there. Mitchell Schwartz, Casey Toohill, Debo at 25 years old. He hasn't broken out yet. I wonder if I can get Debo for something else. There's a corner, Khalil Dorsey, who's a superstar dev at 23. There's a lot of decent options for Eric Wilson. This one I like a lot because we are in need of another corner, but I mean, this is a heavy cornerback class. I like the Debo trade, but I might be able to get Debo for something else if I want him. I kind of want to get Jacob Phillips. I think I'm going to do this trade. We replace him right out the gates by getting Jacob Phillips. Let's go call up San Fran. Let's go call up the Giants or the Niners and ask them about Debo. So there's no other trade packages for Debo because I traded the dude? You got to be kidding me, right? You don't want Alexander Madison? They kind of want Alexander Madison. What about what about Olabisi? He killed it in the slot. He kind of moves the needle a little bit. What about they need a right guard? Well, so do I, right? I have Ezra Cleveland. They want you want Jalen Holmes? He had a decent season. Okay, we can toss in a draft pick. This is getting a little bit out of hand now. Starting to toss in some things I didn't think I'd have to toss in. I guess I should have just traded Phillips. A fourth round pick almost does it. What about if I toss a sixth? That gets it done. So we send a bunch of different people to the San Francisco 49ers for Debo Samuel. I think we got to bring Anthony Barr back. That seems like a good idea. So we're going to pay him, and hopefully he accepts it and doesn't decline it like Dak. He does accept. That leaves about $56 million. I'm not going to bring either of these three guys back. So we will go look at the team now before we go to free agency. So Dak is playing on another 1-year deal because he got tagged. We need to fix this. We need to fix this freaking offensive line, man. It just looks gross. Defensively, we had Jacob Phillips. We brought back Anthony Barr. Metellus will now start at free safety. Our free safety spots are pretty much done. We could definitely use some corners. We could use some more pass rushing. Wanham's going to start at defensive end. We still need a little bit of work. I'm obviously going to switch and have... Okay, Debo's already playing the slot. I was going to have him play the slot anyway. Because if he does what Johnson did, he's going to go crazy. Because he's obviously a better talent than Johnson is. We moved to free agency with about $57 million. Is there going to be anybody in free agency? Samson Ebukam is available. Raekwon McMillan, Marlon Mack. We don't need a running back. Dalvin Tomlinson's interesting, but we have a solid bridge D tackle already. Kevin King is cool. I think I might go for Kevin King. 4 years. He's 26. We need another corner. This doesn't take away from the fact that I still might draft a corner, but if we can get him, that'd be pretty awesome. Samson Ebukam, I don't know if we need. We need a middle linebacker more so than an outside linebacker. We don't necessarily need a wide receiver because we just brought in Debo. And none of the receivers here are really doing that much for me. We don't need a safety. Our safeties are done. Zach Cunningham at middle linebacker is not the worst thing in the world. He's the best middle linebacker in the class. He's a 78 overall at 26 years old. A lot of teams are going after him. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him in as long as it's not like a super expensive deal. We are in the lead for him. I think those are going to be my only two targets. We're going to go after Kevin King and Zach Cunningham, two positions on the defense that we need. We do get Zach Cunningham, but now we have to raise the offer on Kevin King a little bit because some more teams have gone after him. So we'll raise it up just a little bit. He would end up being our second highest rated corner if he comes in. So we'll go and we'll raise it up slightly. Hopefully that puts us ahead again. It doesn't put us ahead, but maybe he'll just choose us anyway. He didn't choose us. He chose somewhere else. He chose the Raiders. The Raiders. That's okay. We got Zach Cunningham, which is pretty cool. It's a middle linebacker that we needed. He may end up being the middle linebacker for the entirety of this rebuild. Who knows? It's time to get to the draft. I don't know what pick we have. That's what mock draft number 5 is for, to take a look at what pick we have, where we're picking, who they have us mock to take. Do we need to trade up? What's going to happen? Private workouts, though. Private workouts. So we're probably not going to go quarterback. We're not going to really be in a position to get Kyle Pitts, but it'd be cool to get him. I did scout a bunch of offensive linemen because I think offensive linemen, we need to go heavy in this draft because this is a pretty solid offensive line draft. It's a pretty solid offensive line draft, so I think we need to go heavy on the offensive line. Christian Darrisaw is who they took in real life, which I would not be opposed to taking as well. There's some good players in this class. You got Kendra Green, you got Creed Humphrey down the board a little bit. You've got Aaron Banks and Wyatt Davis. There's some depth, not a lot of depth. There's enough depth to make some good decisions, and obviously we can move Tevin Jenkins or Sam Cosmi into guard if we need to. But there's some solid offensive linemen in this class. I think we can come away with a pretty good amount of them, although we only have a first and a second this year, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to make that work. Let's get to mock draft number 5 and find out what's going on. So we're at the NFL draft here. What's happening? Where are we picking? What's going on? So Trevor Lawrence, number 1 of the Jags. Look at this, top 3. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 of the Jags. Zach Wilson, number 2 of the Jets. Trey Lance, number 3 of the Niners. That's hilarious. And then Justin Fields, not the team he got drafted by, but a team he played for, the Steelers. PS2 to the Bengals. Kyle Pitts to the Dolphins. Mac Jones to the Eagles is hilarious. We pick at number 8, and they want us to take Rashawn Slater. Interesting. There's a lot of good players in this class. My God, there's a lot of good players in this class. I mean, Penei Sewell's down here at 20. Jamar Chase is at 25. Wow, 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 wow. I don't think Rashawn Slater's a good player, but I don't think he's the guy. I think what we should do is try to trade down, maybe get in position to take Penei Sewell. I don't think we'd be able to, trading from number 8, we probably wouldn't be able to get another first round pick from like another year. But I think trading down is going to be the best option. Gives us a little bit more flexibility, a little bit better decision making. We'll start drafting. It's funny that the top 3 is exactly the teams and the players that took the players in real life. Trevor Lawrence does go number 1. The Jets take Zach Wilson at 2. And Trey Lance will go 3 to the Niners. Justin Fields goes 4. So 4 straight quarterbacks go off the board. It's unprecedented. The Bengals take PS2. Then we've got Kyle Pitts going to Miami. So the board is pretty much exactly how it said. Mac Jones, and then we are up now at number 8. That's kind of crazy that 5 quarterbacks went in the top 7. What are the trade offers here? How far can we trade down without losing out on Penei Sewell? So the Raiders were the ones that were mocked to take him. I don't remember. It was like 20, I think, is what the Raiders pick was. Some of these, there's the Raiders pick. Some of these teams are offering me a first round pick, but the pick that we'd get back from this year is later than what I want. So it might not be possible. Colts at 18 is not bad. I think that was where they were mocked to take Micah Parsons. 18, and then we'd also get a second round pick next year. That's not the worst thing in the world. I am seeing those first round picks next year, and they do entice me. I can't lie, they do entice me a little bit, but I think prioritizing players now rather than next year is better. So I think I'm going to do the Colts pick this year. We'll trade down from 8 to 18. Still be ahead of the Raiders, who were projected to take. If I don't laugh, I'm going to beat myself with a spoon. We traded with the Colts. And they take Penei Sewell at number 8. So we trade down, don't even get another first round pick, and still don't come away with freaking Penei Sewell. And Rashawn Slater goes 10. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. They were projected to take Micah Parsons. I didn't think they'd take Penei Sewell. How do we not even... We trade down, don't come away with the first round pick, and still don't even get Penei Sewell. I should have just taken him at 8. I thought I could get away with getting him and still trading down. I mean, Jamar Chase and Micah Parsons are still on the board, which seems absolutely insane for them both still be on the board. I'm gonna take Jamar Chase. I mean, at this point, it's just you take the best player on the board, and Jamar Chase is the best player on the board. I know we don't necessarily need another wide receiver, but this allows us to possibly flip Adam Thielen next year. So I'm gonna do that. That makes the most sense to me. Now in the second round, we need to come away with somebody good. Kelvin Joseph, Asante Samuel Jr. is not bad. We could use another corner since we didn't get Kevin King. I think Asante Samuel Jr. is going to be my guy. Sam Cosmi's available. The centers are still available. Banks, I mean, there's still some decent offensive linemen available. If I want to take one of the centers, I should probably do it now. Because I'm not going to be picking again until the fifth round, I think. So I didn't do a bunch of scouting the centers. Who's the best of the bunch? Obviously, we know in real life that Creed Humphrey's the best, but I don't know if he's developed. I don't know if he develops in the game. Josh Myers looks pretty solid. I don't remember if he has a dev trait or not. I don't think Kendrick Green does. I do think that Creed Humphrey does. I think I'm just going to take Creed in the second round here. I know we need a corner, but we also need offensive line help. So getting Creed Humphrey will help. He's got a crazy good mullet. Now we don't pick again to the fifth round. It's going to be pretty brutal. Oh, man. I mean, I'm happy that we got Jamar Chase, but not getting Penei Sewell is just so frustrating, man. All right, the corners that are available, they're all day three guys, unfortunately. There's no hidden gems in the cornerback room? I guess not. Everybody else is just garbage. I mean, there's a decent guy in Jason Pinnock. Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is a day three. I might come back and get him. KJ Britt. Uh, there's not going to be any offensive lineman available except for Trey Smith, but I think I took Trey Smith in a recent 2020 draft and he didn't end up being that good. The tight ends are not really there. We don't need another wide receiver unless we go for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do I go for Amon-Ra St. Brown? I mean, I got to, right? It's Amon-Ra, right? I got to take him. He has normal dev, but it's another wide receiver that we don't need. I'm going to come back and take that one dude, Nate Hobbs, if he's still there. He should be. Trey Smith got grabbed. All right, where's Nate Hobbs at? He's still available. We're going to grab him. Hopefully he's solid. He has normal dev. That's fine, I guess. He's pretty fast. I'm going to end the draft there. Oh, that draft did not go necessarily how I wanted it to go, but I feel like we still came away with some good players, and we can still move Adam Thielen after all, now that we have both Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Chase ends up being a 75, but then everybody else is under a 70, which I'm honestly not that shocked by. Best player in the class was Kyle Pitts, then Jalen Waddle, Travis Etienne. The guy that we missed out on, Penei Sewell, is a 75, so same overall as Jamar Chase. All right, kind of a weird first draft. How is this team going to perform in year number two? Probably around the same that we were in year number one because we're running the same playbooks and we don't really have that much more help. Offensive line's still a little weird. We've still got Adam Thielen. We're going to flip him. Flip. Defensively, the defense got a little bit better with the addition of Zach Cunningham, the emergence of Jeff Gladney. DJ Wanham will now start. All right, I mean, we might be able to win more than 6 games. I have no idea. We're going to find out. I'm going to simulate to the end of year number 2. I will load in the 2022 draft class and all that kind of good stuff, but I honestly don't know how this team's going to perform. Let's find out. Year 2 is done, and somehow, some way, we made the playoffs. We won 9 games, so we do improve slightly by winning 3 more games, but a 9-win Vikings team makes the playoff? That feels gross. We weren't even the worst team in the playoffs. We were. I thought there was 8 teams. Never mind. We were the worst team in the playoffs, but somehow we make it. I don't understand this team. We won 6 games last year. We weren't much better this year. I mean, Dak's putting up similar numbers. 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 20 picks. 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook. 1,000 yards for Debo. I told you he'd go crazy in the slot with 13 touchdowns. Jefferson 772 and two. Jamar Chase didn't even get a single catch this year. We got to flip Adam Thielen this offseason. Defensively, 120 tackles from Kendricks. Barr had 80, 78 for Harrison Smith. Barr also led the team in tackles for loss with 13. Hunter had 10. Sack leader. So it looks like the Vikings defense does pretty good for sacks, at least spreading them out. 9 for Barr, 6 for Hunter, 4 for Kendricks. Interceptions, Gladney had 5. That's what I like to see. 3 for Hughes and Smith. But Gladney, with that superstar dev, I like to see him performing and putting up big numbers. Do we win against the Seahawks, who are the 2 seed? No, we get beat pretty handily, and we lose in the first round of the playoffs. I'm not shocked. I'm actually more shocked that we made the postseason than we actually did lose the postseason. So we go to the year 2 offseason. We have to make the decision on Dak again because he only signed the franchise tag. He had to sign the franchise tag. So we're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. Hopefully nobody else that important needs a contract. It's gonna be the Packers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So Aaron Rodgers still getting it done, presumably. I don't think Jordan Love's taken over just yet. And it's going to be the Packers getting the championship. And Calais Campbell, who is still playing in real life in the year of our Lord 2025, or 2026, I guess, he's going to call it a career in this game in what is actually 2021-22. So Rodgers gets another championship. He beats the Chiefs. Josh Allen gets MVP. So Josh Allen goes from winning a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP one year to the very next year winning an MVP of the league. He's just on top of the world. Cooper Kupp and Shaquille Barrett are the players of the year. Trey Lance and Zaven Collins are your rookies of the year. So Trey Lance, the draft pick in this universe, actually worked out for the Niners. But now comes our decision. Dak Prescott needs a new contract. Will we pay him? We have to pay Dalvin Cook. That's just a no-brainer. I'll pay him probably over market value just because he's a 97 overall and we do not have another option, and I don't want another option. He's going to come back. That's a lot of money for a running back, but it's worth it. And good news, Adam Thielen is on a need a new contract, so we're going to trade him anyway. There's Dak, 187 million. Why couldn't you have just accepted your freaking contract last year, Dak? Now we got to pay you even more money, and you might still reject us, and you might not even be the answer. He's going to sign. Okay, thank God. We paid him so much more than we would have had to pay him last year, but he does sign a contract. I want Brian O'Neill back, so unfortunately we're going to have to pay him a little bit more. Doesn't he kind of look like, I don't remember the actor's name, but he played Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State. I forget this. He also plays Reacher, I think, on Amazon Prime or something like that. He looks like that dude. I forget what his real name is. I don't know. He kind of looks like that. He kind of vaguely resembles him. He wants to play for a new team next year, so we're going to have to franchise tag Brian O'Neill. 26.4 is not horrible. Bradbury we need to bring back, and that looks to be about it. So let's just get rid of Adam Thielen right now. He is only an 82, so I probably should have traded him last year while he was a little bit higher overall. DJ Reader, Cody Ford, Tillery, Costanzo, Josh Uche. He's not getting the value I was hoping for. I think I missed the opportunity, missed the window. We could get a 2027 fourth along with Cody Ford, but that doesn't really feel like good. Can I trade him for a tight end? David Njoku on the Cardinals? How did he get over here? Can I trade for David Njoku? I might be able to. They need a lot of offensive linemen. Well, so do we. We desperately need a lot of offensive linemen. I could trade Garrett Bradbury since he is on the last year of his contract. I was going to think about bringing him back, but we just drafted Creed Humphrey. So maybe Bradbury's the guy to get this done. Trade offer accepted. Okay, I didn't think I was going to do that, but I did it. So Bradbury goes away. That means that Creed Humphrey will start. at center. We need to fix this offensive line, man. This offensive line's not great. Aaron Jones is in free agency. So is Trey Hendrickson. We might need to spend all of our money on Trey Hendrickson. He really wants to be in Minnesota, and I don't think we can deny him that opportunity. I mean, Aaron Jones is cool. He's a 99 overall, but we don't need him. So we can't actually offer Trey Hendrickson a contract. I think we need Trey Hendrickson on this team. I really do. We got to restructure a couple contracts to be able to offer him because I think getting Trey Hendrickson would really help this team out. So let's restructure our most expensive one. It's Dak, but we can't. We just re-signed him, so I'm not going to restructure. Danielle Hunter, I'll restructure. Harrison Smith and Kyle Rudolph, who's making just a disgusting amount of money for his overall. But that should be able to free up enough to be able to get him. Yeah, we have enough now. We probably even have enough to go after another person. How's that offer look? Okay, so we're in the lead for him. We need to look at offensive linemen. Left tackle, there's nobody here that I want. Left guard, Laken Tomlinson kind of wants to be here. Alex Kappa, Larry Warford, Austin Corbett. Austin Corbett's only 26, but Kappa's only 27. Maybe I toss a little offer at Kappa? Because, I mean, we have, like, no guards on this roster, so we need something. Hendrickson and Kappa. Hendrickson didn't sign with us. He signed with the Chargers. We were clearly ahead. Oh, I didn't mean to hit the tutorial. That's unbelievable. We didn't even get Kappa. Oh my god, we whiffed on both of our signings in the offseason. That's crazy. Wow. I did not think I was gonna whiff on the both. I mean, Hendrickson really wanted to be here. And I gave him a fair offer. We were like a full bar ahead of everybody else. He just chose the Chargers for some reason. That seems crazy. And now our draft pick's not going to be that good because we made the playoffs. We did lose in the first round, but we made the playoffs. I think we need to go all in on the offensive line this year. So we need to scout like a bunch of offensive linemen, regardless of position. We need them all, I think. We need to get a bunch of offensive linemen. I might even take another center and then move them to guard or something because we need to have something. This offensive line is just pitiful. And the fact that Kyle Rudolph at tight end is making that much money just makes me sick. All right, mock draft number 5. What are we working with? Evan Neal, number 1 overall pick. Good luck with that, Detroit. Then Aquanu, Trayvon Walker, the original number 1 overall pick in real life. Hutchinson. This draft is actually working out fairly well for us right now. Thibodeau back to the Giants. Kenny Pickett, Jameson Williams. Sauce is right there at 14. Where are we at? We're at number 19 taking Trevor Penning. That's not going to work with me. Sauce only being at 14 feels achievable. And Derek Stingley being at 19 also feels very achievable. We could get him. There's Linderbaum, Tyler Smith. So a couple of big-time offensive linemen are going in the first round. Trading from, I don't want Trevor Penning. Trading from number 19 to either one pick up to number 18 or up to 14 feels fairly doable. We already bought all of the necessary player personnel stuff for the draft picks, or for trading. So I'll just go and quickly buy the discounts for contract negotiations just to help out future juice a little bit. And we will try to make the trade. So we have to trade up from, what are we at, number 19? To, I think I'm going to go up to 14. I think getting Sauce would be pretty sick. So it shouldn't take much effort to go from 19 to 14. I might even be able to go 19 to 17. And then they accept that. Thank you very much. And then go from 17 to 15 and then 15 to 14. And then we can have Sauce Gardner, who is a guaranteed top 5 player in the class. It's not like corner is the biggest need for us, but Sauce Gardner is really good. And corner is a need. It's just not like at the top. Offensive lineman's obviously at the top of the list. But getting Sauce would probably finish our cornerback room because him and Jeff Gladney would be a pretty solid pairing. So let's go to the Niners. Get number 14. All right, so we end up with number 14 now. As long as the draft doesn't screw me like it did last year with Penei Sewell and the Colts, hopefully this goes my way. Evan Neal does end up going number 1 overall to the Detroit Lions. Good for you, Detroit. Aquanu goes number 2 to the Falcons. The Cardinals take Trayvon Walker. The Bengals should take Aiden Hutchinson, and they do. Commanders grab Drake London. And we'll simulate to our pick. Next user pick, Charles Cross, Jordan Davis, Zion Johnson, Thibodeau, Green, Hamilton, Quay Walker, and Jameson. So our guy is still available, which is always good. Big Sauce. Hot Sauce. Top 5 true talents. He's number 4 in the class. He's got a hidden dev. I think that's our cornerback room figured out for the rebuild, hopefully, as long as everybody develops. But now we got to go offensive line. Unless we go Trey McBride, because we do need a tight end. Because Kyle Rudolph's not going to get the job done. I gotta go Trey McBride here. I gotta go Trey McBride. We need a tight end that's better than Kyle Rudolph. I end up having a second round pick because of the trade that we made last year, trading down with Indianapolis. So I can still go offensive line. Bernard Raymond, Luke Godke, Dylan Parham. Oh, no, I think I wasted my time on the offensive lineman. I think I might go Luke. Let's go Luke here. We need another offensive lineman, another guard. Number 98. He doesn't have a dev trait. Are we ever going to fix the offensive line? Who else is in this class? Alante. I do like Alante Taylor. Martin Emerson at corner. I also like Martin Emerson. I think I might go Martin Emerson here. I don't know how I can pass that up. He's a round 2 to 3 guy. Martin Emerson, that officially locks up our cornerback room because we won't need anybody after him. At least until I make a decision to draft somebody else, knowing me. All right. The wide receivers are still here. Christian Watson. Alec Pierce is still available. He can't be that bad. What kind of offensive lineman? Braxton Jones is still available. I might grab him. That feels like a crazy good value for Braxton Jones. I know he's normal dev, but I feel like that's a steal. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We're going to end the draft there. I did see Bailey Zappi's name. All right, 2 drafts that I don't feel super good about, but also they might end up helping. I don't know. We did re-sign Dak, so he's now under contract, even though we paid him a ton of money. Sauce is a 78, Trey McBride's a 73, Godke's a 68, 70 for Emerson, 65 for Braxton. Best player in the class was Drake London, 79, then Jameson, there's Sauce. Okay. Very weird team. I'm going to give it one more year in the Minnesota playbook. We're going to simulate this season, use the Minnesota playbook. If the playbook gets us similar results, then it might be looking to change because we do have. Oh, that's right. I traded for David Njoku. I didn't need Trey McBride. Forgot about that. All right, whatever. You live and you learn. I completely forgot I made that trade. Dak's gonna be our quarterback. We've got Dalvin Cook. We've got Jefferson Chase. We've got Samuel. We got Debo. Or we got Say Brown. We're looking good at wide receiver. Then on defense, a full star linebacking core. We've got Willikis, who ends up being a higher overall than DJ Wanham. I guess I don't really care. I guess as long as somebody develops. Sauce will eventually pass Mike Hughes. We've also got Cameron Dantzler. Metellus is good. All right, we're a weird team. We're a weird team, but we won 9 games. I think we can win again 9 again. Maybe. I didn't think we'd win 9 games last year, and we did. So I guess I don't know. It's hard to predict this team. Season 3 is in the books, and I do think it's time to move on from the playbook. It's just not getting us anywhere. We're staying around the no man's territory, which you never want to be in. We're not good enough to make the playoffs, but we're not bad enough to be top pick in the draft. We're just going nowhere. So playbooks will be changed for season 4. We need to change something because I know that the team's not fully finished yet, but these numbers from Dak Prescott cannot say we're paying him too much money for him to be this Dak. We can't have him be this. We need him to perform a little bit better. I mean, Dalvin Cook's been playing pretty well. Debo again has a good season. Jamar Chase finally gets yardage because he's actually getting catches instead of Adam Thielen. Justin Jefferson did fine. Then we've got defensively, Eric Hendricks again, no surprise. Smith, Metellus, tackle for loss leader is Michael Pierce, Danielle Hunter. Sack leader was Anthony Barr with 9 for some reason. I don't know why he keeps leading the team. Pierce had 8.5, 7.5 for Hunter. And then Gladney had 4 interceptions. So I'm glad Gladney's doing. I'm glad that Gladney is doing well. Gardner had 3 picks. So did Harrison Smith. But we missed the playoffs again. 2 out of 3 years we've missed the playoffs and just been kind of gross, kind of. So we will change the playbooks. I probably won't change the defense. I think the defense is good enough to win a championship. The defensive playbook. But the offense definitely needs to get changed. But what do we change it to? Do we change it just to Dallas because we have Dak and we know the Dallas playbook simulates fairly well? Or do we change it to Kansas City and have David Njoku go crazy? Or do we have change it to Cincinnati because they do fairly well sometimes? Or uh, Buffalo? Buffalo, I mean, they've been in the Super Bowl and Josh Allen's won a bunch of MVPs. And he just won another Super Bowl here. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Maybe we switch to Buffalo. Mahomes gets another league MVP. Stephon Diggs and Patrick Surtain are the players of the year. Kenny Pickett is the offensive rookie of the year, and Terrell Bernard is the defensive rookie of the year. Kenny Pickett on the Panthers, by the way, the Carolina Panthers. He won offensive rookie of the year. I don't know what kind of playbook magic they got down there, but he's going crazy. Jefferson will accept his option. Debo, we will pay. Brian O'Neill will try to pay again. Okay, a few guys that I would like to bring back are coming up for a contract. Michael Pierce is interesting because he's been good, but for that much money, I don't know. Let's get Debo back because he's going to be one of the most expensive guys. So we'll get Debo back. I don't know how he's gone with the seasons he's had and hasn't gone up to star dev. I mean, he hasn't had crazy seasons, but he's had good enough to develop. Please, Brian O'Neill, accept this contract extension and don't decline me again. Thank you. 72 million. I want Mike Hughes back. So we'll offer him a new contract. He's going to come back. Thank you, Mike. Irv Smith, we don't need, I don't think, because we have Trey McBride and we have David Njoku, so we don't need him. Eric Hendricks, I want back because he's been dominating for me and I don't really want to replace him. Why can't I just go a season without having to franchise tag a freaking dude? All right, we get him back on a franchise tag. Michael Pierce is not that expensive. I just hope he re-signs with us. He did. Okay, thank you. So we got him on a 2-year deal. It's whatever. We got to find a replacement for him at some point. But now we go to free agency with about, what, 40 million? Is that what we had? 30 million? 28. I was off. I was completely off. All right, who's going to be in free agency here? Orlando Brown Jr. Okay. Nobody else that I really want to go after, so we can pretty much spend everything that we own on Orlando Brown Jr. I hate that he doesn't want to be here. He wants to be close to home in Georgia. We have to pay this man every single penny that we have. This would completely solve our left tackle problem. Even that much money. Oh, the Jaguars are going crazy on him. I don't think we can offer him anything better than that. We're not going to be able to get Orlando Brown. The Jaguars really are going after him. But that's maybe for the best because that means we can spend our money elsewhere. Where is that at? Your guess is about as good as mine. There's no offensive lineman that I want. There's not a D tackle that I want. No, the replacement is not in free agency. Let's just say that. We do need a defensive end, unless we want to just go with Willikes. That feels gross, though. I'm not going to spend any money. If we're not going to get Orlando Brown, I'm not going to spend any money. We might as well save that and have it roll over to extending people next year. Not getting Orlando Brown is frustrating, but I can't pay him more than what we were offering him, mainly because we didn't have the money to. He chose the Jaguars. The Jaguars had like 2 bars ahead of everybody else. I don't know what kind of sick voodoo magic they were pulling to free up that much money, but they're going after him, so he can go play for them. What do we do in the draft? Jalen Carter's in this draft. That is our defensive tackle replacement. Somehow we have to find a way to get into position to draft. Yes, I scouted all of the interior offensive linemen. Somehow we have to get into position to get Jalen Carter. If we can get Jalen Carter, our defensive tackle problem is solved. That's the replacement right there. But if we can't get Jalen Carter, Brian Brissy is not a bad backup plan. We need this mock draft number 5 is going to be crucial to deciding what our path is. What's it going to say? Mock draft number 5, Jalen Carter is number 11, and we're number 14. Perfect. We can trade up very easily and get Jalen Carter. Thank you, baby Jesus. That's huge. That's bigger than huge. That's mahusive. We'll trade 14, and we'll trade up to 12 with Denver. And then we'll just swap 12 and 11 because I think the Giants had 12 or 11, I mean. So we'll just swap the Denver 12 pick with the Giants at 11. And we should come away with Jalen Carter, and our problem at D tackle is finished. There we go. Thank God he didn't get mocked higher than that, because I would have been in trouble if that would have happened. Number 1 pick in the draft, Bryce Young goes to the Raiders. Patriots are next up. They take CJ Stroud. I would have loved that in real life. Let's get to our pick. Anderson Jr. All right, we're good. I do see Paris Johnson Jr. on there. I would have liked to have him, but Jalen Carter is more of a need, even though right tackle is a pretty big need. But Jalen Carter, I was looking for the replacement for Michael Pierce. We found it right there. He's the number 2 player in the class. He's a freak of nature, and he's probably one of the first times I've ever gotten him. We'll simulate to the second round. Will Levis goes to the Giants in the second round. We need to get offensive linemen. There's no left tackles. Left guards, there's no one. Centers, John Michael Schmitz. Right guards, there's no one. And right tackles, there's no one. We already missed out on all the right tackle or all the offensive linemen. I mean, this wasn't a deep offensive line class in the first place, but I mean, give me a little bit of a break here. Tyreek Stevenson at corners is interesting. I do like that a little bit, but we got to come away with an offensive lineman. I think it's going to have to be Schmitz. John Michael Schmitz is not a great offensive lineman, but we have to come away with somebody. He does at least have a hidden dev. I guess that's something. Jahmyr Gibbs got drafted in the second round. Who goes next here? I don't even know. I don't really have a plan. Especially because the offensive line class is not deep. We're not going to take a quarterback. We're not going to take a backup running back. Josh Downs is interesting, but we don't need another receiver. We can get another receiver at some point. Ricky Stromberg is kind of tickling the pickle a little bit. Byron Young's a solid player. DeMarvion Overshone is a good player. At least he developed into a pretty solid player in real life. I, I'm between Byron Young and Ricky Stromberg. Adding more offensive line depth, but he's probably going to have normal dev. But I mean, Byron Young probably has normal dev too. I think I'm going to go with Stromberg here. That feels like a wrong decision, but we're going to do it anyway. He has hidden dev. Okay. I'll take that. We can move him to guard and maybe he'll work out for us. I don't know. I'm going to simulate the rest of the draft. We got Jalen Carter. That's the big W of this draft. He's a freak. He's our replacement for Michael Pierce, and he should be able to come in right away and absolutely dominate. He's already a high overall than Michael Pierce. 79 overall for him. Schmitz is 71. Stromberg's is 69. Nice. Best player in the class was Bijan at 81. No surprise there, really. And then we got the second best player in Carter, so. Okay. We are going to change the playbooks. I think I've decided on Buffalo for the offense. We're going to keep Minnesota's defense, but I think I've decided on the Buffalo offense. We've got a 91 West Coast. Let's see if we can get a higher overall here. We got a 92 for a 3-4 under. We might as well go with that. But we'll switch to Buffalo's offense, and hopefully Dak can go crazy in the Buffalo offense because Josh Allen's going crazy in the Buffalo offense. And you could think of Dak Prescott as a poor man's Josh Allen. All right, this is what the offense looks like. It's shockingly bad, but it is an offensive line. 6'4", 310. Can I make John Michael Schmitz a tackle? This feels disgusting. What does he go up to? He's a 72 at tackle. Oh my god, that's gross. I hate that a whole lot, but I'm going to make it work. It's going to be what it is. Defensively, we go to the 3-4. Jalen Carter starting at defensive tackle. There's just no way around it. Corner's looking good. Harrison Smith retired. Why did he not tell me? I didn't think he's still playing in real life. All right. Well, that's a mistake on my part. I should have paid more attention to that. We're going to have to find a new free safety next year. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much in the sim, but it's year number 4, and we're in a new playbook. Maybe this time we can actually kill the game. The change in playbooks must have worked because we win 12 games and make the playoffs again. I'm just hoping that Dak actually did something. Please have a good season, Dak. 4,300 yards. Okay. Yes, Dak. This is the type of money that we're paying you. This is the production we're looking for. 4,300 yards on the dot, which is pretty cool. 3,400 or 34 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Thank you, Dak. This is the type of stuff. And Dalvin still put up solid numbers on the ground, more touchdowns than he had before. Receiving 2 1,000-yard receivers, including Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, finally getting the respect that they deserve. Yes, this is exactly what I'm asking for. The Vikings defense still put up good numbers. Jacob Phillips ends up being a really solid player for us. 13 sacks for Danielle Hunter, 8 for Phillips. Interception leader is Gladney with 5, 4 for Kendricks. We're still looking for that safety to replace what's-his-face, Harrison Smith. I can't believe he retired on me. All right, we lost our first wild card matchup a couple of years ago, and we will do the same again. I hate this game so much. Why do I subject myself to this game? All right, we lose again in the wild card round. Will we ever get out of it? I don't know. But we are better now. That's good. So we will go to the off season again. Hope and pray that we can maybe sign our guys to new contracts because I don't think we're going to have that much money. We have $27.5 million. And Buffalo's in the Super Bowl again. I mean, obviously their playbook is killer with Josh Allen as the quarterback. They do lose this matchup, though. The Niners get it done. So Trey Lance, I mean, he got drafted in this video to the 49ers, and he ends up taking them to a Super Bowl a couple years later. Talk about storybook. And he's the MVP of it as well. Josh Allen, another MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. Javon Kinlaw's the Defensive Player of the Year. Bijan and Diane Henley are the rookies of the year this year. So we go to another off season. This one's going to be pretty crucial because we don't have a lot of money. This might be a heavy restructuring off season, depending on who's here. So Jeff Gladney, we need to get him back. He's up to an X factor now. Metellus, we need to get back. Jamar Chase, we're going to accept the option. That's pretty obvious. Jacob Phillips, he's up to X factor now. He wants over $100 million. Dantzler, we're going to bring back. I want out all these guys back, not these guys, but I want a lot of these guys back. And with only 34 million, that seems almost impossible to do. We're going to get Gladney back. That's pretty straightforward. Please accept. Thank you. He's coming back. 22 million. We're going to get Dantzler back. 2.5 and 2. He's coming back. 18 million. Kenny Willekes. Do we want either one of these guys? I mean, Willekes is cheaper. And he's a little bit of a higher overall guy. So hopefully he accepts this. Nope, he's going to take free agency. What's the tag? 30. Never mind. I'm not tagging him. I'd rather pay DJ Wanham. He wants to be here a little bit more, so maybe we can get him back. He's going to come back. So that figures out that controversy. And then we've got Ezra Cleveland with 21 million. All right, we're going to have to start restructuring because we obviously need to bring back Metellus and Phillips. Oh, why does everybody want so much money? CeeDee Lamb says he's not coming back, by the way. And Justin Jefferson's on last year of his deal. We are going to be so screwed. We'll restructure Dak. We'll restructure Dalvin Cook. Brian O'Neill. Debo. And we got to win a Super Bowl this year, or we're going to be screwed with Justin Jefferson because he's going to want like 250 million or something like that. Jamar Chase. Oh, I shouldn't have restructured him because he's on a rookie deal. But whatever, it's already happened. Okay, 55 million. Is that enough to bring both of those guys back? I have no idea, but I hope so. That's 45 million, actually. I thought it said 55. We can get Jacob Phillips back. Maybe, if he accepts this. He is going to accept it. 24 million. Come on, Metellus. We can barely offer him. Please do not decline me, because I really don't want to franchise tag you. I just want to lock you up for an extended period of time. He's gonna be back. So we end up getting everybody back, except for Ezra Cleveland. That kind of sucks. And we're gonna lose Eric Kendricks too. I can't restructure any more contracts. We're just gonna let those guys go, unfortunately. They shouldn't end up being that big of a deal to lose. Isaiah Simmons is here. So is CeeDee Lamb. I mean, we have no money, so we can't offer any of these guys, but I just wanted to take a peek in and see who was available. We got a hit on this draft. This draft has to be a killer draft. It's the 2024 draft, so it's like Caleb Williams and all those guys. We need to hit on it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No booty cheeks. Okay, let's take a look at some of positions of need. There's some decent offensive linemen in this class. Some decent tackles. We did scout interior offensive linemen again. Joe Alt. Faltanu. I'll scout Faltanu. We probably need middle linebacker. Since we lost Eric Kendricks. Edgerrin Cooper probably is that guy that we have to go for, I would think. So if we take a look at the lineup, what's the biggest need that we have? It's guard with Ezra Cleveland leaving, but we can just put Stromberg there, I think. So we don't need a guard. I can just make him a right guard and he'll be perfectly fine right there. That's why we took 2 centers in the past class. It's going to work out for me. Okay, so the offensive line looks better now with Stromberg being in there. Dak is up to star dev. That's huge. Offense is not looking too bad. And then the defense, we definitely need a middle linebacker now that Kendricks is gone. We need a strong safety. Corners looking fine. Defensive line, we could use an upgrade on DJ Wanham, but it's good for now. So middle linebacker. So that means if we could grab Edger and Cooper, that would be super sick. Super duper sick. Will that happen? I don't know. I really, really don't know. Middle linebacker and strong safety are the two biggest needs in this draft. Mock draft number 5. Caleb Williams going number 1 overall. A lot of talent going early. Edger and Cooper's at 18, but he's a round 2 to 3 guy. Interesting. There's Dallas Turner. Where are we at? We're at 24 taking Keon Coleman. We got to trade into the top around this area right here so that we can either draft Dallas Turner or Edger and Cooper. I feel like, why does Edger and Cooper have to go so early? He's not rated that good. But we got to get up a little bit higher. We got to get up a little bit higher. 24 is just not good enough for the talent that we're looking for, so if we can trade up to 22 from the Chargers and then trade up to 20 and then up to 18, that would at least put us in position to get Edger and Cooper. But I mean, the round 2 to 3 talent, true talent, really irks me. Because we know how good Edger and Cooper is in real life. The Rams have that pick. We'll take that. Okay. One more trade. We'll get up to 18. And then we'll go into the draft. And hopefully hit on somebody. Trade with Dallas. Okay. We've got number 18. I think that's what we needed to get up to, right? Let me just double check. Mock draft number 5. Yes, 18. I thought it was 17 with the Giants for a second, but it's 18 with the Cowboys. So we're in position now to get either Dallas Turner or Edger and Cooper. Either one would be a good decision, but I mean, Dallas Turner doesn't play middle linebacker. Caleb Williams does go number 1. There's Dallas Turner. Jared Verse is also here. He would be a nice replacement for what's his name? DJ Wanham. Could I just make Dallas Turner a middle linebacker? Or maybe make somebody that I already have on the team a middle linebacker? Or do we just take Edger and Cooper? I want to take Edger and Cooper, but that round 2 to 3 has me worried. I'm going to take Dallas Turner. He's number 7 in true value. He's got a hidden dev. He's a freak. That just, it seemed like a no-brainer. And maybe we get lucky and everybody in the league scouted Edger and Cooper and he fell all the way. No, he didn't fall. I was hoping maybe I could speak it into existence. So Xavier Legette's still available, but we don't need Xavier Legette. We need a strong safety. Javon Bullard and Tyke Smith are available. I mean, I feel like we got to go Javon Bullard. Pretty solid. Out of Georgia. We need a strong safety. He's the best one available. He has a hidden dev, thank God. Got a hair in my eye. A hair somewhere. Can I get this hair off me, please? Okay. We got our 2 positions of need, I think. Because we'll just move somebody. We'll have to move somebody into middle linebacker. Michael Penix is still available. It's kind of funny. James X available. There's a couple receivers available. Mason McCormick, Jarrett Kingston. The offensive line's not looking that good. Brandon Dorless I do like. I might go for Brandon Dorless. Tyler Davis is a decent option. Eichenberg. Mike Sanders still available. You know what? I'm gonna go with Mikey Sanders still. Add another corner to the team, even though it's not like a big need. He's dev trait and he adds depth, so that's pretty solid. And then we'll go to the fourth round, and this is probably gonna be the final pick that I make. Who is it gonna be? Jordan Travis, Joe Milton still available. I might go Luke McCaffrey here actually. No, we don't need a receiver that bad. Christian Haynes is around 2 to 3 true talent. That might be a little bit of a steal. He's a potentially undrafted, or he's a day 3 guy. I mean, a true talent in the fourth round or fifth round, whatever it was. Rank number 77, hidden dev for Christian Haynes. That's a huge steal in the fourth round. I'll take that. We'll sim out of the draft. I think that was a W draft. We had to take best player available, and it was Dallas Turner by a mile. I don't regret it. I just got to hopefully find a spot for a middle linebacker because I don't think Dallas Turner. I mean, he might be able to play middle linebacker. It's Madden at the end of the day. Bullard's a 6 Samersil's a 74. We hit on all of our draft picks. They actually took Javon Baker too. Best player in the class was Marv, and then Joe Alt. Okay, let's take a look at this team. Hopefully, we can win a championship. I mean, it all ends up being about Dak at this point because we've pretty much put a good team around him, a good enough team to win a championship. I think definitely a good enough team to win a championship. Offensive line's good enough. Wide receiving core is good enough. Running back's good enough. Tight end's good enough. Quarterback is the big issue. And then defensively, we got to figure out middle linebacker. So Anthony Barr would be a 73 overall middle linebacker. Dallas Turner passes him immediately. I think I just got to make that decision to make Anthony Barr middle linebacker. He played middle linebacker at one point. I think he was a middle linebacker in college. He's going to play middle linebacker for us. It's at least a dev trade upgrade, and it is 73, so it's something. Okay, so we'll go to the next season. Drake May's playing for the Packers. This could be our Super Bowl chance. I think our Super Bowl window's open. I don't think we'll win one this year, but I do think we could have a chance to at least make it. The year is wrapped up. We finished the simulation, and we won 14 games. That's super sick. We were really, really good in simulation, thankfully. The team that we're finally putting around Dak is developing and doing fairly well. We were the number 1 seed. We got the bye. We got the home field playoff. We're taking on the 49ers. But I'm glad that finally the talent and the playbook combination is working out because Dak is starting to be really, really good. 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's really, really progressing. I'm glad that we made the move for him and made the playbook change because otherwise he was just going to stay in mediocrity. We can't have that. Dalvin actually dropped his usage. His production went down, but that's probably because Dak's production went up, so it makes sense. Debo got 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns. I would be shocked if he didn't take a dev trade upgrade. Justin Jefferson had a decent season. Njoku, Jamar Chase. Defensively, Anthony Barr this time, 106 tackles. He took the Eric Kendrick role, so it makes sense. Jacob Phillips at 73. He's actually been a really, really solid player for me, and now he's an X factor. 71 for Mike Hughes. Hunter does not lead the team in tackles for loss. It's Jacob Phillips with 13. 12 for Carter, 11 for Hunter, 10 for Barr. And then Jalen Carter, the stud that he is, 11.5 sacks, 9 for Hunter, 8 for Phillips. Sauce Gardner, 4 picks. Hughes had 2. A couple guys had 1. But we make the playoffs as the number 1 seed and a home playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers. Can we please win a playoff game? Thank you. 31-17. It's actually not really in doubt. But we host the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship. This is our best chance to win a Super Bowl. We have to do it because if we don't, we have to go to the offseason and pay a lot of people a lot of money that I don't have. So we have to win a Super Bowl here so we can end the video. We are here in the NFC Championship game against the Seattle Seahawks, and I think Russell Wilson is still the quarterback here. At least it's a home game in Minnesota. Don't have to worry about like any weird crowd noise or anything like that. But I'm just hoping we get the job done. I do not want to lose when we're this close to a championship, especially with all those contracts that we're going to have to pay. It's down to the wire. It's really down to the wire. And I think we held on 10-6. What a slobber knocker, in the immortal words of Jim Ross. But we do get it done. We win an ugly one. But I don't care. It could be ugly, it could be pretty. It doesn't really matter. We win the NFC title and we go to the Super Bowl. Please, please, for the love of everything holy in this world, let me win a Super Bowl with this team. It doesn't feel like we should be in the Super Bowl, but we've got a good team. And we're taking on those pesky Bills again, who just keep finding their way into championships. This is it. This is the Super Bowl. We need, oh boy, do we need to win it. We have arrived at the Super Bowl, and it looks like we're playing in Tampa against the Buffalo Bills, who have just a permanent spot in the Super Bowl in this rebuild for some reason. They're just super good. But we're also rocking the Buffalo playbook, at least offensively. And we're just kicking field goals. Is the only way we can score points. But the Bills can't score either. I guess that's good. Please score a touchdown. Yes, huge. 16-6. They scored a touchdown. They're going to go for an onside kick, but I think we held on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Super Bowl for the Vikings. We've done it. We've rebuilt. The 2020 Minnesota Vikings got a championship. And most importantly, we did it with Dak Prescott. Maybe most surprisingly, we did it with Dak Prescott. Not the quarterback that I would have thought coming into this video we would have done it with. But we did it with Dak. We barely held on. We kicked a bunch of field goals, and then at the end we scored a touchdown or two to hold on. Oh, man. Thank God, because I did not want to go another year considering the contracts that we were going to have to pay, including Justin Jefferson. So we end up winning the championship in what, 5 years it took? Did it take 5 years to get it done? Something like that. But we were able to win a championship. Whew. Man, that was a tough one. I did not think we were going to beat the Bills there. I thought with the field goals that we're just kicking back and forth, I did not think we were going to be able to get it done. But we were able to do it. Season recap. Dalvin Cook is the Super Bowl MVP. Congratulations to him. Mahomes, MVP of the league. No surprise there. We do win Coach of the Year, though. That's pretty cool. The only award we've won in this rebuild. Stephon Diggs and Diane Henley are the offensive or the Players of the Year. J.J. McCarthy and Edgerrin Cooper. So maybe we should have taken Edgerrin Cooper because he won Rookie of the Year. Maybe we should have taken Edgerrin Cooper. But we won Super Bowl anyway. Dak goes up to Superstar Dev. This team is a weird team. I mean, we came away with some huge draft picks, including Jamar Chase. Deebo Samuel was a big trade that we made. Getting Creed Humphrey was huge. Ricky Stromberg ended up being huge. John Michael Smith, who would have thought he'd be our tackle? But he did. This was probably the weirdest rebuild that I've made. That's for sure. Jacob Phillips being a star out of nowhere. I don't even know who Jacob Phillips is, but he's a star out of nowhere. Jalen Carter was a big draft pick. Jeff Gladney turned into one of the best corners in the league. Was a huge W. Drafting Sauce Gardner was amazing. This was a fun team to rebuild. We got a lot of fun players, but it was definitely probably the weirdest one I've done in a while. But just considering all the players that were good that I didn't think were going to be good. The quarterback that we ended up with was Dak Prescott. It was a bunch of weird stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And like I said in the intro, if you have any other suggestions for future rebuilds and you want to be shouted out in a video, leave your suggestions down below. It could be a certain player you want to see me rebuild on a team. It could be a certain situation, like in a different year, like 2012 or 2020, like we just did here, modern day. It could be 2002, whatever you want to do, or maybe a team, specific team in that era. I don't know. Leave them down below in the comments, though, and I will take them on in a future video. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.